not go too
Don't
fast.
go too fast, yeah. Yeah,
We're gonna
Kevin.
end at the Fine.
And we got a 2-pager and a breeze.
As I was thinking about this, trying to get to sleep,
That's
and singing it to myself,
really,
yes,
that happened, huh?
well, I kept it to myself out of courtesy.
Oh. Is that why you couldn't get to sleep last night?
Digga, digga, digga. Well, it's on 4. Don't play it in 4. Play it in 3. Digga, 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 dum.
Gotcha.
Whoops. Okay. Wait a sec.
This may be our last piece. 'Cause it's
That would be
51.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
Well, thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
You ready?
Bounce.
Next year, we'll go 103.
Well, there's next week.
Next time.
Oh, okay. 2 clicks more next week.
2 clicks more.
This is the entry.
So we're going to the thing now?
Yep.
If you
Except
can
for the
get
thing.
all 3 on your page, it's going to be helpful.
We don't have to do the chorale. No college song getting to it quick.
Correct.
Got it.
Does anybody need more clips? That's good.
Twice the Rigadoon.
Oh,
Right?
but the Rigadoon was as it is. Ramsey's
One time?
twice.
Okay. I got
All right,
this
Larry.
2 times marked in.
So Rigadon
Dawn
is
one.
first, then Grand March.
And we play Rigadoon
And
once
that Rigadoon's once, just as marked.
with Rigadoon.
Grand March is twice.
As written.
I'm glad I asked because that was inked in.
Getting a call from
Previously.
Hello.
Yeah. For you, I mean, really. Put it on the other side or something. You know, if you can put it. Everybody else good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, you ready? Here we go. See you at the end. 2, 3.
Please be seated. As the 10th president of Randolph College, I am honored to welcome the members of the class of 2021, their families and friends, to the commencement exercises and to declare these exercises to be officially opened. From the hallowed halls of this great college have come civic and economic leaders who help make a difference in their communities, their nation, and indeed the world. Since our humble beginnings in 1891 as Randolph-Macon Women's College, we have never shied away from our commitment to providing a uniquely personalized education in the liberal arts that prepares students to engage the world critically and creatively, live and work honorably, and to experience life abundantly. Today, we add these women and men before me to the list of graduates who are leaving this college prepared to reach extraordinary levels of achievement. Our commencement speaker today is deeply committed to our students and to her alma mater. A member of the class of 1995, Eugenia Gina Livings Welburn is a current member of our Board of Trustees, and I have to say, I have never worked with a trustee at the college who volunteers so much of her time to our students. Indeed, I've never worked with a trustee at any college who is so committed to spending time with individual students. Gina definitely personifies the life more abundant that we teach here. She graduated from the college with a degree in English and went on to build successful careers in enrollment, consulting, and as a business owner. She and her husband have 3 children. In her early professional career, Gina served as an enrollment and retention specialist for both this college and Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. Her work in enrollment was primarily focused on diversity and special programs especially designed for African American and Latino students. In the years to follow, her recruitment and special interest work continued as she led the Black Client Service Staff Initiative at McKinsey & Company, an international management consulting firm. There, Gina committed her time to growing the Black consultant community at McKinsey while providing extensive professional development support. Gina is passionate about 2 things: supporting and encouraging those who cross her path and sharing the love of God and teaching the Bible to anyone who wants to listen. She has served in various leadership and teaching roles with Community Bible Study, an international non-denominational program, and other programs at her church and in the local community. She and her husband, Craig, currently own ECC Enterprises Holding Company, a McDonald's franchisee based in Northern Virginia. It is a pleasure to introduce our 2021 commencement speaker, Eugenia Gina Livings Welburn.
Thank you, President Bateman, for that lovely introduction. And thank you all for the pleasure of being on the stage with you this morning. Good morning, class of 2021, my fellow odds, and Randolph College community. It's nice to be back home. It is with tremendous joy in my heart that I stand before you on this commencement day to celebrate the culmination of your years of hard work and dedication to your future. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to join you for this momentous occasion. Congratulations. You should be very proud of yourself. This month is also special to me because it marks 30 years that I have been a member of this college. And it is frankly hard to believe that 26 years ago, I was sitting in your place. The years have passed quickly, and they have been filled with joys and sorrows, highs and lows. However, truth be told, I would not change a thing. When President Bateman and I spoke several weeks ago about commencement, he described this past year as far from ordinary. although I knew he was speaking of the events of COVID, far from ordinary made me think about your accomplishments and even of my own. As I share a bit of my story with you today, I hope my words will both encourage and inspire you. Before I begin, I must take a moment to acknowledge and thank some people who have loved and supported me in my 30-year journey to this moment. To my mother, Josie Livings, thank you for the sacrifice in ensuring that my time at the college would be completed. To my college roomie, Miss Emily Benson, thank you for seeing my purpose long before I did and keeping me straight in our 4 years here. To the very best husband and 3 kids a girl could ever ask for, thank you, Craig, Cameron, CJ, and Kendall. And to those who know me the best, thank you for your support. When I came to the college in the fall of 1991, I had ventured east from San Antonio, Texas, to begin yet another chapter of my life. I was a military kid, and I had grown up moving every 2.5 years into spheres of unknown people and unseen places, all of which I quickly acclimated to and ultimately called home, even if for just a short period of time. What I recalled about the trip east was that it felt like many other trips, bags in tow, many, many miles ahead, and an adventure that awaited on the horizon. Like each of my other moves, I ventured off to a place that I knew very little about, and I'd never seen, except in a VHS videotape. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. It's on its way back. In those hours of travel, I'm sure that I felt like other graduated high school seniors on their way to freshman orientation, excited and a little anxious. But what I did not think about was how far from ordinary my high school experience was. After all, I had attended 4 different schools in 2 different states, 2 different countries. And as I would soon discover, my choice in college was in fact far from ordinary too. You see, as a first-generation college student, in my sphere of influence, there had never been a mention of Randolph-Macon Women's College in Lynchburg, Virginia, or even a consideration for attending a women's college. Yet in my heart, I was urged to do something different, not to take the ordinary route. I could not have known at that time how much that single decision was already shaping the person that I was to become and building a toolkit that I still use every day. I realize now that I was not at all like other graduates that I knew. I was poised to be a leader. What I was to give to the world was already inside me, and it was the college that further educated me, refined me, and nurtured me. Along the way, I learned a few valuable lessons that I want to pass to you. First, learn to appreciate who you are. Self-love is the beginning of a life fulfilled. Acknowledge your gifts and talents and celebrate your uniqueness. Second, learn how to block out the noise. Over the next few months and many years, the smattering of voices around you will pull you in multiple directions. Remember that you are a leader, capable of choosing the right path. Third, know in your heart what is important and commit to it. As I mentioned before, life will pass quickly, and occasionally a change of course may be necessary. When you know in your heart what is right and true, you cannot go wrong. Fourth, learn that avoiding failure is not possible. It is essential for success. And I will not bore you with my list of failures, but be assured those were some of my most defining moments that led to many triumphs. I think the lesson that I appreciated the most is the importance of keeping a song in my heart. And that might sound rather trivial, but it really is important. I like to say that you cannot fuss and complain and sing a song at the same time. Just the right song will elevate your mood, usher you into a place of peace, and even get you moving when you feel like life is standing still. So, whether it's a guitar solo, a little bit of country, a little bit of hip hop, good run of jazz, or the best decade of music ever, the 80s. Rock on. In your time behind the red brick wall, you have become an original and a leader, whether you realize it or not. In your time on this campus, you have accomplished quite a bit. You have carried full loads of classes and spent hours on your laptops. You have volunteered multiple hours running clubs and organizations. You double majored and double minored and closed equity gaps and created new traditions. You won games and became titled champions. You landed great internships, traveled abroad, and even conquered the hike to the beautiful Mayer Museum of Art. And can I just say, you also conquered the academic challenges forced upon you by COVID-19. Who knew your classes would be virtual for 3 semesters? Years from now, when you look back on your college experience, I'm quite sure the phrase, "far from ordinary," will come to mind. I hope you will recognize how well equipped you were to go forth and handle anything that came your way. This year has tested every fiber of your being, and just being here today is a declaration of success. I encourage you to rise above the chaos of this last year and let it not overshadow all that you have accomplished. Someone is likely to come along at some point in your life and say, "You know, sometimes things don't turn out the way you want." But rise above that negative commentary. Shift the perspective and celebrate the person that you have become. You mastered a Randolph College education. Take this original experience and step into the next phase of your life, confident because you've got this. Take great care in continuing to nurture every part of you, because ultimately what will emerge in the years to follow will have tremendous impact on you, your family, and society. You know from reading my bio that my husband and I are in the business of selling hamburgers. That's our job. But our work is uplifting people. There's a difference between the job you will perform and the service that you will provide. Your job will require skills and knowledge, while your work will require your heart, your soul, and your strength, and the ability to recognize that you accomplish nothing alone. Our business is tough, and we could not do any part of it without the wonderful people that comprise our team. Without knowing everything that we do, you might assume that the reward must outweigh the tough stuff. But for us, the reward is not in the register. It is in the people we get to work with, train, and encourage every day. Great joy comes from watching a team member discover what is unique and special about their life and choose to elevate it far above ordinary. But all of this cannot be accomplished unless kindness is extended and support is intentional. It cannot be accomplished unless we are good listeners and we make ourselves available. I encourage you, as you step into the world, to go and do good and do well. The final lesson that I will share with you today is the importance of learning how to have eyes that see and a heart that loves people. In our world, especially over this last year, kindness seems to be flying off the shelf and being hoarded right alongside Clorox wipes and TP. People are too busy to listen, too engaged in a laundry list of things to do, to be available. And what I loved and appreciated about this community when I was a student was being greeted in the hallways when passed by another member, whether I knew them or not. Looking someone in their eyes acknowledges their presence and speaks to their humanity. I encourage you and I ask you to take that tradition into the world and couple it with the awareness, the empathy, and the compassion that you have so successfully moved through the halls of this college. Now, while we must face the challenges of an unpredictable society, I know some of you already have plans in place and are ready to launch, while others are still pondering your options. And some of you may be feeling overwhelmed and fearful about tomorrow. No matter what direction you take, no matter where you land, and no matter the role in which you stand, your impact will be great, simply because you are far from ordinary. Randolph College has prepared you well. So be intentional, be kind, be a good listener, and be available. Eventually, the world will open up and opportunities will await. Be ready. Congratulations, and God bless.
Thank you, Gina, for your message. Your sister Tanya wanted to know that she is watching the live stream and is very proud of you. I now invite our Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Carl Girelli, to the podium for the conferral of degrees.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in coaching and sports leadership please rise? Mr. President, it is with pleasure and affection that I present to you the inaugural candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Coaching and Sport Leadership.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Randolph College, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Arts in Coaching and Sports Leadership, and declare you entitled to enjoy all the rights and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Zachary J. Hinton. Darren Lawrence Petty, Jr. Benjamin Michael Roberts. J. Brandon Schlick. Ashley Marie Schmitz. Philip Brenton Williamson. And the graduates unable to join us in person today, Douglas Hendrick Corbett, William Nash Donahoe. Will the candidates for the master's degree in teaching please rise? Mr. President, it is with pleasure and affection that I present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Randolph College, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching and declare you entitled to enjoy all the rights and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Jordan Kane Clark. Landon Lee Kekua Fielder. Carter Elizabeth Garrett. Erica Marie Mabry. Dominique Ariana Nelson, in absentia. Michaela Irene Salerno. And a graduate in the Masters of Arts in Teaching who was unable to join us in person, Christine Marie Dorman. Will the candidates for bachelor degrees please rise? Mr. President, it is with pleasure and affection that I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science, each of whom has completed the requirements of this college.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Randolph College and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or Bachelor of Science, and declare you entitled to enjoy all the rights and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. I invite you to move your tassel. Graduates, please be seated. The individual graduates will now be introduced.
Alexis Rochelle Allen. Jamiko Wilton Allen Hercules, cum laude. Teresa Alrimari. Mackenzie Leanne Ambrose. Rodrigo Amestegui. Essence Imari Anderson. Haley Elizabeth Ashford. Rabia Ashraf. Devin Gray Bagby in absentia. Lillian Francisca Baker. Amadou Abdoulaye Bey. Soleil Marie Borden. Chloe Brazzi. Aaron C. Brown. Cora Lee Brown. Tyler Blake Campbell, magna cum laude. Cody Carpenter. Emma Corinne Carico, magna cum laude. Anne Grace Carey. Megan Jean Chaffins. Lindsay Leanne Davis, magna cum laude. Logan Brian Davis. Haley Alessandra Delaria. John Thomas Dolan. Mitchell Coleman Doss. Damian Kyle Douglas. Verlicia Douglas. Donald William Doyle. Justin McKinley Dula. Paige Olivia Edwards, magna cum laude with honors in environmental science. Elizabeth Gray Ellen, magna cum laude. Angela Rose Farr. Alyssa Galbraith, magna cum laude. Amber Nicole Grace Garrett, magna cum laude. Jordan Alexandra Garrett. Alexandra Elizabeth Geyer. Victoria Shane Goodman, cum laude. Zeb Dylan Gray. James Austin Greenfield. Jessica Melton Gross, cum laude. John Adam Guest VI. Brittany Noel Gula. Brianna Darielle Harbison. Elijah David Harrison. Rebecca Heidenfelder, cum laude. DeAndre Bryce Jackson. Allison Gail Jarrett. Grace Jennings. Amanda Jane Johnson. Sabrina Raven Johnson. Rebecca Sierra Jones, magna cum laude. Hannah Faith Joseph, magna cum laude. Martha Gail King. Gabrielle Kostick. Samantha Marie Landers, cum laude. Mary Nan W. Layton. Riley Page Larson, magna cum laude. Jose Marquez. Alex Marshall Jr. Steve Martinez. Shannon Jessica McQuaid. Jody Misador. Chandler Lauren Mitchell Stadler, cum laude. Samuel D. Mott. Kennedy Ling Moulton. Dilawar Muhammad Mubashir. Madison Noel Murphy. Taylor Ray Murphy, summa cum laude. James Victor Neary, Jr. Hannah Mae O'Berry. Jeffrey Oliveri. Ranita Opoku Sarfo. Evan Michael Posick, cum laude. Zachariah Avery Nathaniel Payne. Sarah Josephine Perry. Jackson Samuel Powell. Samuel Walker Procopio. Agnes Reyes Merced, magna cum laude. Luz Eneda Rodriguez Santiago. Jared Matthew Ruddock. Renee Sarpong. Shamir Dante Scott. Emily Elizabeth Smith. Kailau Tano Smith, magna cum laude. Robert Addison Spinner, cum laude. Sydney Taylor Spruill. Lindsay Marie Taylor. Letitia Thornhill, magna cum laude. Evelyn Victoria Tomaszewski, cum laude. Lee Howard Benjamin Tukes. Christopher Gage Tutko. Willis Columbus Wallace. Caitlin Weigel. Courtney Madison Williamson. Zachary Willoughby, magna cum laude. Gifty Wisdom. Selena McColden Walden-Michael. The following graduates were unable to join us in person today. They are Sydney Lee Easter, Naja Michaela Eldridge, Taylor Nicole Headings, Min Hong, Christian Alfonso Irigoyen, Sydney Alta Keys, Emma Cozio, Oscar Anosco, Daniel James Over, Christine Pendergast, Nathaniel Isaac Peveril, Caleb Schmitzer, Michaela Seals, Samantha Ann Verhagen, William Zachary Vernon, Alexander C. Wagner, John Alexander Warren, Zachary Lewis Waugh. Congratulations to all who are here and all attending remotely. The Maud Huff Fife Award is given each year to the student whose grade point average, or GPA, is the highest in the senior class. The award is named for a graduate of the class of 1918. While at Randolph-Macon Women's College, Maud Huff Fife was the senior assistant editor of the Tatler, a member of the Franklin Literary Society, the Quill Drivers, and the Sigma Kappa sorority. It is her spirit, her leadership, and her affection for the college that we commemorate when we honor the recipient of the Maud Huff Fife Award. The recipient of this year's award holds a mathematically uncontestable grade point average and a vibrant commitment to learning and teaching. In the words of her advisor, Professor Crystal Howell, she has been single-minded in her pursuit of a college degree, and she has indeed excelled in classes across the discipline. Her outstanding senior research project focused on exploring how students develop habits of mind in informal STEM learning environments. This year's Maud Huff Fife recipient has dedicated her time and talent to working with the after-school program at Jubilee Family Center, translating the lessons of her own classroom experience to enrich the lives and minds of young students. Her devotion to teaching and learning will find further expression as she continues to prepare to take her place in the world through Randolph's Master of Arts in Teaching program. As she comes to the table to receive her award, please help me congratulate this year's Maud Huff Fife recipient, Taylor Murphy.
Before we go any further in the program, I should take the time to acknowledge that our graduates did not get to this point in their academic careers without love and support from those around them. In particular, I would ask that the parents, guardians, spouses, and significant others of our graduates please stand so that our graduates might offer you their thanks. Additionally, the heart of a college is its faculty. Randolph is continually recognized as having some of the very best faculty in the country. Graduates, would you please join me in thanking the women and men who have so ably taught you and imparted knowledge to you along your journey. I would also like to make a special announcement. The Board of Trustees voted to grant emeritus status to several retiring professors this year. We believe commencement is the most fitting time to recognize and acknowledge this honor and these important members of our community. Please join me in congratulating the following professors emeriti: John D'Entremont, Dennis Goff, Mark Harrison, Kathy Muehlman, Kenneth Parks, Pam Reisenhoover, Jamie Rohr, Doug Shedd, and Francois Watts. We are grateful and appreciative of all they have done for our students and the college. It is my pleasure now to introduce our student government president. Renita Opoku-Sarfo is a true example of a student who has taken advantage of everything Randolph has to offer. A biology and global studies major, she has been actively involved in campus organizations during her entire time here. In addition to her current role as president, Renita has served as a senator and vice president for student government in previous years. She was also a member of the Strategic Planning Committee, a head resident, and an admissions tour guide. If that wasn't enough to keep her busy, she was part of the tennis team, Songshine, and co-president of the Gammas. Her leadership and contributions to the college have not gone unnoticed. She received the Eileen Wood McMinn Scholarship in 2020, which recognizes campus leadership and service, and the Virginia Hill Warden Exemplary Leadership Award, which is presented to a rising senior who demonstrates courage, grace, energy, humor, and creativity through campus leadership. All of us at Randolph are proud of Renita and thankful for the time and energy you have invested in our community. We know you will go on to do more great things. Please join me in welcoming the President of Student Government, Renita Opoku-Sarfo.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, President Bateman. They say that college years go by so fast, but I can't tell if that saying still applies to our last 4 years. It often felt like time was flying, especially when our spring break turned into an extended break, then an online semester last year. However, this year and both semesters collectively felt like it would never end, yet here we are. Despite the obstacles this pandemic has thrown our way, I am thankful that we get to close this chapter together and in person. I remember being exhausted during our first few days here at Randolph. For those of you that transferred in later on, consider yourself lucky. Our first week was filled with back-to-back early morning sessions, our class picture in the Dell, which was a struggle, and a few fun activities to help us get to know our Lynchburg community better. As a first year, I was praying I would get to sleep in and miss a few activities. But as a seasoned senior now, I appreciate how much effort was put into events like orientation because it kept my mindset off of family and helped shift my mind into the life of a college student. Randolph has the tendency to attract go-getters and multitaskers. If you weren't one coming in, you definitely will be one on your way out. Even though we are students first, many of us were also athletes, tutors, RAs, in multiple clubs and committees, and some still found time to hold jobs on and off campus. That's who we are. We live to take up space and fill roles that need to be filled. We like to speak up, we like to be heard, and we like to speak and support those who long to be heard. These qualities make us a catch at any job, any graduate program, and a contender for any opportunity. A lot of our future success can be attributed to our Randolph professors right over there. Yep. The same people that wore us down paper after paper, project after project, discussion after discussion, also built us back up with support and encouragement when needed. I'm also grateful for our staff that felt like family, from coaches to buildings and ground staff and dining hall staff. Whether you like the food or not, you love the dining hall staff, and there's no denying that. These past 4 years have taught me a lot about growth, patience, and the power of words, speaking things into existence. Coming into college, I struggled with asking for help. I wanted to look like I had it all together. It's interesting because when you choose a major, you expect to be a master at it. But college does a wonderful job at humbling you and reminding you that just because you declare a major does not mean it's going to be an easy stroll down to graduation. The same way college has taught me to prioritize and stay organized, it's also taught me how to speak up when I'm sinking. Our campus community taught me not to feel ashamed for going to see a tutor, not to feel embarrassed for checking out our counseling services, and not to shy away from asking for an extension or 2 or 3, especially this last semester. We all did what we needed to do here, and by looking around, I can see that all our hard work has paid off. As we each step into our next chapter in life, I hope that we all will take what we needed out of this Randolph experience and use it to propel us closer to our goals. Even though pursuing a college degree is much more common these days, it does not discredit the fact that we have just achieved a great accomplishment, an expensive accomplishment. Take the time to celebrate yourself and acknowledge that you have endured what many have also endured, but in the midst of a global pandemic. Celebrate with your loved ones, appreciate those who have supported you, and applaud yourself for getting this far. Class of 2021 was built differently. Never forget that. Thank you, and congrats to us all.
Thank you, Renita. Congratulations, class of 2021. It feels like a small miracle to see you here today, gathered for this wonderful celebration. I don't have to tell you why it feels that way. The last 15 months have tested us in ways that we did not know we could be tested. The isolation and loss of social life have been difficult. The uncertainty has been destabilizing. You have endured things that no class in the history of our college has had to endure. Thus, simply to be together today feels like a small miracle. We know that we are a small community woven together in bonds of affection, but I do not think we knew how much joy we could feel simply by the fact of each other's presence. In sending you out into the world today, I would like to focus on a positive lesson we have learned in the last 15 months. Our interdependence. One of the first lessons we learned in the pandemic was that people who have been often overlooked in everyday life are in fact heroes. The people who stock grocery store shelves and who check us out at the register risk their lives so that we could simply eat. Nurses and emergency room clerks risk their lives every day to care for the suddenly ill. The orderlies in nursing homes, people who often work for minimum wage, We're on the front line every day. Do you remember how we all watched Seattle in horror last March? Do you remember when Italy was submerged in crisis that same month and we started to understand that we were in the midst of something global? In brief, what I want to say to you is that from the ashes of this public health crisis, we learned in an unforgettable way that we are connected to every other human on this earth. No matter one's wealth, no matter one's nationality, no matter any demographic characteristic, we are all members of one human family. Likewise, whether we pack groceries or change the diaper on an elderly person, we are essential to the world. As you head into the world to begin your next chapter, I am sure that many, if not all of you, feel uncertain about your future. I doubt that you feel privileged. Lucky, perhaps, but not privileged. But the fact remains, you will now enter the working world, and you will rise in your profession and become the leaders of your generation. My charge to you is that whatever memories and lessons that you take away from the last 15 months, that you never forget that you are intimately connected to every other human on this earth. And may you never forget how essential others are to your own welfare. Do not forget the fast food worker, the grocery store clerk, or the attendant who records your entry to the hospital emergency room. Every person is connected to you, and every person is important. Good luck, graduates of the class of 2021. May you live rich and full lives filled with an understanding of your interdependence in the world. You are no small miracle. Now, will you please stand and join us in the singing of the college song and remain standing for the recessional. So we obviously got a miscue there. Let me ask the person in the press booth, is it possible to recue the college song? If it is, I'll let you begin playing it because I can't see you.
Thank you.
Please remain standing for the recessional.